So kind of out of nowhere, we got a brand new MMORPG dropped on us that, and I repeat, this is not a drill, will actually be playable this year. Not only will it be playable, but it seems the game has actually been in development for about 10 years by the award-winning MMORPG developer Andrew Gower, known as being one of the co-founders of Runescape. And somehow, surprisingly, this Steam release has kind of flown under the radar. Old school Runescape is still to this day one of the most active and popular MMORPGs, even 20 years later. So to say that this game has a massive amount of potential would be a huge understatement. So what will this new MMO look like? Will it be comparable to RuneScape in its glory days or be something totally different? Let's dive in and take a look at everything we know so far about Andrew Gower's new MMORPG known as Brighter Shores. Similar to RuneScape, you will start off in a small town known as Hopeport, where you are the newest recruit of the town guard. You'll find yourself battling local goblins until you slowly work your way up the ranks and become something even greater. So far, they have released 3 classes, and each of them has one singular picture. These are known as the Cryo Knight, the Guardian, or the Hammer Mage. And I will say, after first looking at these classes, these are some original looking classes. We have the Cryo Knight, which is kind of like a Frost Death Knight from this one picture. We have the Guardian, which uses a crossbow and a shield. Then we have the Hammer Mage, which is, I'm assuming based off of the name, a mage that wields hammers. So these 3 so far look interesting and new when compared to every other MMO out there. But those are just the legendary combat classes. The game, in similarity to RuneScape as well, will have a huge number of trade skilling professions. Just to name a few, we have Fisher, Forager, Chef, Woodcutter, Miner, Alchemist, Stonemason, Merchant, Blacksmith, and many, many more coming. I think in similarity to the legendary classes as well, a lot of the actual characters and the NPCs, as well as the monsters that you'll be fighting in the game, all feel and look so original to me. And I think that's something that RuneScape did as well really, really well by adding that kind of British humor to the MMORPG landscape. Now they're going to be doing that in this game as well, it looks like. We got drippy goblins, we've got torso-faced scary dudes, and I guess porcupines as well. All of these creatures will be scattered in an ever-expanding world that will feature new content being released in an episodic format. Each of these episodes will have new quests, different professions, as well as the world will evolve and change based off of each new episode. And this is probably where it starts to differ more and more from RuneScape, as well as kind of every other MMORPG out there. This episode-based content will require you to have a premium pass. So let's take a look at the free version of the game versus what the premium pass offers, and just kind of how the monetization of the game is going to work. So like I said, we have 2 versions of the game, free and we have premium pass. The free version of which is kind of limiting if you ask me, but it will include the first city of Hopeport, as well as the adjacent forest known as Hope Forest. And that's it. That's all you get for the free version. There's nothing more, but at least you'll get to see if you enjoy the game at all by checking out the first starting areas. Oh, and you also don't get a name. Your name will have a hashtag in front of it, and you're kind of just a peasant, so yeah. But for those of you that do buy the premium pass, you get access to the Mine of Mantubin. I'm not going to pronounce any of these correctly. Chronopolis, as well as a unique character name, which they have stated here does allow you to have a name that doesn't have a hashtag in front of it. You get exclusive armor dyes, you can change your name, and you have player-to-player trading, which in my opinion, actually a very good thing. I think free versions of games should never have player-to-player trading because that adds gold selling as well as a bunch of other issues in the game. As far as I can tell right now, we don't actually know the cost of the premium plan, but I would assume somewhere between 5 and 10 just based off of the fact that this seems like a direct competitor to RuneScape and will be most likely trying to be pulling players from old school RuneScape specifically. I think for me, the craziest thing is that this game is slated to come out Q3 of this year. So that means around early fall, late summer, potentially. That's crazy. We didn't know anything about this game, and now we have a new MMORPG coming out that has the potential to be really big. We do have the new World of Warcraft expansion, as well as the Ashes of Creation Alpha, Persistent Alpha coming out at those exact same times, though I don't really think there's going to be a lot of overlap between those games with this game. And there you have it, pretty much everything we know about Brighter Shores. I think for me, this game looks like a very obvious competitor to RuneScape, and I'm kind of here for it. I'm excited to see where this game goes and see if it takes off at all. I know that last I looked, the video on YouTube had like no views, and honestly, I feel like if they're not even really trying to market it that much, they must have something that they know is magical and will be enjoyable for its player base. But what do you guys think? Make sure you tell me down in the comments, do you think this game is going to be a hit, or should we just pass on this one? As always, my name is Spun. I will see you all in the next video. Peace.